Good morning, everyone. Listen, I want to help people that are struggling to reach their goals. They have a goal. Maybe you've bought a course, worked with a mentor, you know what you should do, and yet you are not where you want to be. Here's the deal. I heard this last week that knowledge without applying it is actually not knowledge. It's just pre-knowledge. It's just knowing about the knowledge. Meaning, if you learn something but you never apply it, you never actually learned it. You just learned about learning it, is what it is. And so a lot of people that I find online and that are trying to reach goals specifically in the area of business, personal development, health and fitness, finances, relationship, they learn the stuff. They learn all the right stuff. Maybe you're watching all the videos that I'm doing. Maybe you're listening to my podcast that I do every single week. And yet, you're still where you were 6 months ago. You're still where you were last year. You're still where you were 2 years ago. Why is that? And this is a hard question. A lot of people don't want to answer. The reason is because it actually feels better to learn a lot than to actually do anything. And you're enjoying the learning process more than the actual doing. And it makes you feel like you're doing something because of the effort that it took to learn it, because of the amount of knowledge that you're learning. But really all that you're doing is just learning about learning. You have to take the knowledge that you learn and then apply it with action. Just knowing something does absolutely nothing. Does absolutely nothing. And we see this in our culture today. You know, a lot of people know a lot about a lot of things. For example, one very key area, people know about the truth as it involves racism and racial situations. And yet, the knowing doesn't change anything, sadly. and that's a harsh example of that. But it's a tangible one that I think everybody can see and say, yeah, we know, but our world hasn't changed because the action hasn't been applied to it. Okay, let's bring it back a little bit less deep, less hard of a topic. Fitness. Everybody knows what they should do with fitness, what they should do with their eating, and yet they don't eat differently. They don't work out. It's because they've only learned about learning. They've only learned the preliminary to do it, and yet they've never actually learned. It's never actually sunk in as a belief level, because if the belief level was there, the action would follow. You see, what you believe to be true produces your actions. And so when your actions are not changed, it's because you have not believed something to be true. You don't trust that thing that you learned is actually true, and you're actually trusting what you've done up to this point in time in your life to be true more than that new thing that you're learning. And it's because maybe either you are too prideful to change what you've been doing because there's this pride thing there, or you're scared of what might happen if you change what you're doing. It's usually one of those two things, and they work together. And so the reason why you're continuously struggling, if you're somebody who's continuously struggling, or you're saying, I want to go from where I am right now to this place that I know that I can get to, and you're not there, the only reason that you're not there is because you haven't done anything. You haven't taken action. It hasn't actually become a belief inside of you enough to make you do something different. Because if it did, you would have something different, a different life. You would be this much closer to where you want to be. And yet I see people all the time. They're in my Facebook group. They're on my Facebook page. They're the same place that they were 4 years ago when I talked to them. Haven't moved at all. Why? And it makes me sad. Like there's no reason that they should not be progressing. I know that. But for some reason, they are They would rather stay where they are right now, the comfort zone, the safety zone of what they know, than ever change anything about what they're doing in their life. Why is that? You have to change your beliefs to change your life. Your beliefs change over time. A lot of people sometimes don't believe that they can change their beliefs or change their emotions. They believe that it's just the way it is how I've always been taught or always have experienced. And they won't even try declarations. They won't even try declaring a different outcome and then walking in that. Because for some reason, they're too prideful to even try something different. Or they're too scared if it doesn't work out. Stop letting fear and pride rule your life. Stop letting these outside things dictate your life future for you. And start creating your life, choosing the life that you want. Changing your beliefs, changing your actions, changing the words that you're saying, and living a different life. This is your life right here, okay? This is the life that you want. They're not the same. You can't do the same things. You can't even talk to the same people. You can't even say the same things. And yet so often people complain and they whine and they're like, I don't know why. I just don't know why. I know why. The reason is because it's not important enough for you to do something different to get a different result. You have to do something different. And maybe that doing something different is listening to another episode of my podcast. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's buying a course. Maybe it's actually maybe signing up for Squarespace and starting a website. You know? And yet you haven't even gone in and done the 14-day free trial that doesn't even require a credit card. Because for some reason, that's just too hard. It's not that difficult. Success is not difficult, and yet you've been sold a lie and you believe a lie that it is difficult and that you have to make it difficult, and it has created the result of somebody that believes that it's too difficult so they won't even try. It's time to stop letting your excuses and the lies that you're believing create your life for you, and start choosing the life that you want and walking it out towards your destiny and away from the past that you no longer want into what you were created for. And I'm not saying that has to do with business. I'm not saying that it has to do with relationship, finance, health, fitness, anything like that. But whatever your thing is that you are saying that you want different from what you have right now, that you want your life to be different, whatever that thing is, you have to make a choice, change your belief, and talk different, act different, do something different. But it starts with belief, because action only follows belief. You see, a lot of people think that action produces belief, that as soon as they do it, then they'll believe that it's true. That as soon as I finally do this, then I'll trust that it actually is true. And that's the most backwards format for things ever. You have to believe it's true, walk it out, and then step into it. And it has nothing to do with surrounding yourself with goal-minded people or motivational people at all. That can help, but it's an excuse to say that I'm not where I want to be because I'm not around goal-minded or motivational people. If you're not around those people, you need to become that person. There's podcasts out there. There's videos on YouTube. There's no excuse. You can surround yourself around people with audio, with video, with media that's on social media instead of paying attention to Netflix, watching the news. And listen, I watch the news and pay attention to Netflix. I read history books and stuff like that all the time. But make sure that you're also filling yourself up with what is going to support you to step into your goals and transform your life. Grow your life, everybody.